The one that produces tears while laughing is not necessarily happier than the one that does not. Welcome to another episode. And here we're beginning a fresh chapter, and that's uh, Surah Al Qasas, the chapter, the narration. Qasas means the narration. And in Arabic, we say Surah Al Qasas. And it's the 28th chapter. As usual, we shall first of all read the introduction. And may I show you it? Or may I show it to you? All right. Introduction to Surat Al-Qasas 28. You saw it. This surah continues the subject of revelation and its reception by those to whom it is sent. Full stop. But it emphasizes new points. Colon. How the recipient of inspiration is prepared for his high destiny, even in the growth of his ordinary life, and how the rejection of God's message by groups of men or by individuals is is caused by overweening arrogance or avarice. Overweening is spelled Overweening. And avarice, of course, we know Averice. Full stop. The plight of those who reject the truth is contrasted with the reward of the righteous. Full stop. Paragraph. With the possible exception of a few verses, it belongs to the late Maccan period, just preceding the Hijrah. Full stop. Paragraph. No, summary. We go to summary now. Dash. Pharaoh was arrogant and unjust, but God's plan was to strengthen the weak. I love that. Hmm? God's plan was to strengthen the weak. Colon. In infancy, Moses was prepared for the mission. Semicolon. In youth, he trusted in the Lord and was guided. Semicolon. In his exile, he found help and love. Semicolon. And when he was called, he was supported by God. That's chapter 28, this very chapter 28, 1 to 42. Hmm. So chapters 1 to 42 covers all that I've read. Now, paragraph. So was the Holy Prophet Muhammad. So was the Holy Prophet Muhammad fed spiritually by God's grace, and his revelation was recognized by those who knew the earlier revelations. Colon. It came to an old and sacred center to warn those seduced by the world's life. 28:43 to 60. Paragraph. The future, the future is with those who repeat, who repent. Sorry, the future is with those who repent, have faith, and do good. Colon. For all mercy and truth are with God. 28, this very chapter 61 to 75. Paragraph. But men puffed up with wealth like Karun will come to an evil end, while the lowly, while the lowly and the righteous will attain God's mercy. That's this chapter 28, this very chapter 76 to 88. And I suppose this is where the chapter ends, sign 88. It ends with sign 88. Let's go to the main subject. I showed it to you. Mm. On the English side, we have, or let's go to the Arabic side, we have Bismillah ar-Rahmani ar-Rahim. Mm. Surah Al-Qasas first on top, then Bismillah ar-Rahmani ar-Rahim. Then on the English side, we have Al-Qasas, or the narration. Mm. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Mm. Ta, Sin, Mim. These are abbreviated letters. We did them before. Ta, Sa, Min. Or I may say Tasama, Tasama. I may say Tasama. Mm. But it is actually Ta, Sa, Min. Tilka ayatul kitab mubin. Okay, we haven't done the commentary to it. It's here. Ta, Sa, Min. Or Ta, Sin, Mim. Ta, Sin, Mim. The note to read is 3326. 3326. See note 3137 to chapter 26 1. That's all for it. Let's go to the next sign, sign 2. Tilka ayatu al-kitab mubin. These are verses of the book that makes things clear. Things is in bracket. Without it, it reads, these are verses of the Quran that makes clear. Doesn't make sense, does it? Doesn't make sense. Uh, and the note to read is 3327. 3327. We are asked to see note 3138 to chapter 26 2. All right, let's go to the next sign, which is sign 3. Natlu alayka min naba'i Musa wa fir'auna bil haqq liqawmin yu'minun. We rehearse to thee Natlu alayka min naba'i Musa, some of the story Naba'i Musa wa Fir'auna and Moses, Naba'i Musa wa Fir'auna and Moses. Moses and Fir'auna, when Naba'i Musa, the story of Moses, pardon me, and Pharaoh, in truth, Bilhak, in truth, Bilhak. لقوم يؤمنون لقوم يؤمنون لقوم يؤمنون, to people who believe, to people who believe, not to people who do not believe. Okay, the note to read is 3328. 3328. The part of the story of Moses told here, the part of the story of Moses told here is how Moses and his mother were guided in the child's infancy, that's in Moses' infancy, that even as he grew up, he might be prepared for the high destiny, semicolon. How in youth how in youth he trusted God to the most awkward situations and sought his help and sought God's help. Colon. How he fled into exile and yet found love and support because of his well-doing. Semicolon. Well-doing is hyphenated. Pardon me. Well-doing semicolon. Colon rather. Yeah, well-doing colon. Hmm. And how, when he was called to his mission, he received God's favor, comma, which defeated which defeated all the plots of the enemies. Full stop. Thus, God's plan works. Con- Thus, God's plan works continuously in the web of events. Full stop. Uh, those who have faith will thus see the hand of God in everything and welcome the light that comes to them by revelation. Full stop. With such a faith, there is no room for chance or blind feet. Full stop. And that's note 3328 to sign 3. Let's go to sign 4. Hmm? Uh, إن فرعون إن فرعون ألا في الأرض وجعل أهلها وجعل أهلها شيعا. Hmm. Truly, Pharaoh elated himself in the land and divided his people into sections, Shi'an. Hmm. Allah elated himself. Allah elated himself. Hmm. Uh, Shi'an. Yestad ifu. Ta ifu. Yestad ifu. Ta ta ifatan minhum. Hmm. Uh, depressing a group of them, ta'ifatan, group of them, minhum, yes, sorry, yuzabihu abna'ahum, yuzabihu abna'ahum, wa yastahi nisa'ahum, killing the males and making the females live, nisa'ahum, yuzabihu, killing the males, and okay, let me go to the test. Their sons he slew. Yeah, their sons he slew, but he kept alive their females. Abna'ahu yusabbihu abna'ahu wa yastahi an-nisa'ahum. Innahu kana min al-mufsidin. Innahu kana min al-mufsidin. For he was indeed an evildoer. Evildoer is hyphenated. The note to read is 3329. 3329. Uh, for a king or ruler to make invidious distinctions between his subjects, and especially to depress or oppress any particular class of his subjects, is a dereliction of his kingly duties, comma, for which he is responsible to God. Full stop. Pharaoh and his clique were, were intoxicated with pride of race and pride of material civilization. Full stop. No, no, comma. Civilization, comma, and grievously grievously oppressed the Israelites. Full stop. Pharaoh decreed Pharaoh decreed that all male sons born to his Israelite subjects should be killed. Should be killed. Mm, comma, and the females kept alive for the pleasure of the pardon me, yes, he said for the pleasure of the Egyptians. So, or if you're a man, but the women, they are there for the Egyptians to enjoy, for the pleasure of the Egyptians. Full stop. Mm? Moses was saved in a wonderful way as related further. Mm. And that's no 3329 to sign 4. Let's go to sign 5, with a note. Uh, ونريد أن ونريد أن نمن على الذين استضعفوا في الأرض. م? ويريد أن نمن الذين استضعفوا في الأرض. م? ولنجعلهم أئمة as ويجعلهم أئمة. Let's break that. And we wished Nuridu to be gracious, and Namuna to be gracious, and Namuna to those who were being depressed in the land. Yes, at Afuna. Yes, at Afu fil ardi, in the land. Mm. Wanaj'aluhum imana. Wanaj'alhu imatan. Mm. To make them leaders, imatan, to make them leaders, into brackets, in faith, not ordinary leaders of today, not politicians, not today's politicians, leaders in faith. Iman. ونجعلهم ونجعلهم الوارثين, and to make them heirs, and make them heirs, الوارثين. No, 3330. 3330. What Pharaoh wished was to crush them. What Pharaoh wished was to crush them. Full stop. But God's plan was to protect them. So whose plan works? But God's plan was to protect them as they were weak. Yes, that if we, as they were weak. Yes, that if we, and indeed to make them custodians and leaders in His faith, and to give them in inheritance a land, and to give them in inheritance a land. Then we come to double inverted commas, a land flowing with milk and honey. Double inverted commas closed. A land flowing with milk and honey. Full stop. Here, they were established in authority for such time as they followed God's law. Full stop. Mm. As regards Pharaoh and his ministers and hosts, they were to be shown that they would they would suffer. They would suffer at the hands of the Israelis, of the Israelites, comma, the very calamities against which they were they were so confidently taking precautions for themselves. So Fir'auna and his hosts are now going to be on the weaker side. That's what they feared. Hmm. All right, let's go to the next sign, which is sign six. Hmm. Watamakinna watamakinna lahum fil ardi, to establish a firm place for them in the land, fil ardi. Mm. Wanuri wanuri fir'auna wa hamana wanuri fir'auna wa hamana wa junudihu huma huma minhum huma minhum no wa junuda. Let me take it again. Mm. Wanuria, Wanuri Fir'auna, Wahamana, Wajunudahuma, and their hosts, the two of them, Wajunudahuma, Minhum, Makanu, Zaruna. Uh, and and to show Pharaoh, Renuri, to show Pharaoh, Haman, and their hosts what they were dreading from them. From who? Them whom? From the Israelis. They were dreading something fear, evil from the Israelis. Mm. Or, mm. uh, we have two notes there, 3331 and 3332. Haman and Pharaoh, 3331. Haman was evidently Pharaoh's minister, not to be confounded with Haman, who is mentioned in the Old Testament. Not to be confounded with Haman, who is mentioned in the Old Testament, Esther 3:1, as a minister as a minister of uh, Ahasuerus, uh, into brackets, Xerxes, please, let me spell Xerxes for him, as a minister of Ahasuerus. And Xerxes into brackets, Xerxes is spelled capital Xerxes. And Xerxes, king of Persia, full stop. No, comma, king of Persia, comma. The same who invaded Greece, the same who invaded Greece and ruled them and ruled from BC 485 to 464. Mm. Well, let me go back. Not to be confounded with Haman. So I think different Hamans. Okay. We now go to the next sign, which is uh, sign 7. So what we read 3332 is the second note to sign 6. Let's go to sign 7 now. وأوحينا إلى موسى أن أرضيه. No, I read it wrongly. وأوحينا إلى أم موسى أن أرضيه وأوحينا إلى أم موسى أن أرضيه. So we sent this inspiration to the mother of Moses, colon, suckle, into brackets, thy child, suckle thy child, and at the he. فإذا هفتي فإذا خفت عليه فألقه في اليم في اليم وإذا خفت وإذا خفت عليه فألقه في اليم. So, uh, circle to breastfeed the child. But when thou hast fears about him, وإن إخفي وإن وإن فإذا خفت, if thou hast fear, allay him. If thou hast fear about him, allay him. Cast him into the river. Ilkihi fil Yemen. Uh, yeah, ilkihi fil Yemen. ولا تخاف ولا تخافي ولا تحزن ولا تخافي ولا ولا تحزني ولا تخافي ولا تحزني ولا تخافي ولا تحزني, and exercise no fear or sorrow or grief. Cast him into the river, but fear not nor grief. ولا تخافي ولا تحزني. إنا 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 راداه إليك إنا راداه عليه. إنا رأى إنا رآه إنا رآه إليك إنا رآه إليك. We will return him to you. I will return him who Moses to you, the mother. Inna ra'aduhu inna ra'aduhu inna ra'aduhu ilayki. We shall return him to you. It's a direct speech from God to Moses' mother. Uh, وَجَائِلُهُ مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ وَجَائِلُهُ مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, and we shall make him a messenger. وَجَائِلُهُ مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Okay. And we shall make him one of our messengers. And we shall make him and we shall make him one of our messengers. The note to it is 3333. Yes. 3333. Uh, the Egyptian the Egyptian midwives had orders to kill Israelite babies. To kill Israelite babies. Full stop. Moses was saved from them, and his mother nursed and his mother nursed the infant at the breast at her breast herself. That's wonderful. Male children were being killed because of Moses, but God's plans are the best. And he, Moses, was rather saved, and all the other children were slaughtered for nothing. Hmm? Infant at her breast herself, full stop. But when the danger, but when the danger of discovery was imminent, she put him into a chest or basket, mm, and floated him on the river Nile. Full stop. It flowed by the king's palace. It flowed by the king's palace. And the chest with the baby was picked up as related further on. We'll get to it as related further on. Full stop. The mother had no cause to fear or grieve afterwards, as the child grew up under the tender care and became afterwards one of the prophets of God. And that's note 333 to sign 7. Let's go to the next sign, which is sign 8. Hmm? Uh, فإلتقطت فإلتقطت فإل تكته آل فرعون ليكون لهم عدوا يكون لهم عدوا. Then the people of Pharaoh, then the people of Pharaoh, Ali Fir'auna, picked him up, picked him up. Iltakatahu, iltakatahu, picked him up mm, from the river, in brackets, from the river. Mm. Liyakuna lahum adwan, from the river. Uh, from the river is in brackets. Mm. It was intended, also in brackets, then from the river column, it was intended in brackets that Moses, also in brackets, should be to them an adversary, add one, mm, add one, to be an adversary. Wahazanan, an adversary, and a cause of sorrow, hazanan, wahazanan, as cause of sorrow. In a Fir'auna, Wahama, إن فرعون وهامان وجنودهما كانوا هاتئين. For Pharaoh and Haman and their hosts, Junudihu, were men of sin. Kanu hatiina, men of sin. Note 3334. This was the plan of providence, colon, that the wicked might cast a net round themselves by fostering the man who was to bring them to naught, and he and be the instrument of their punishment, comma, and be the instrument of their punishment, comma, dash or of their punishment, dash or then in brackets, or looking at it from the other side. This is in brackets. Without the brackets, it reads to be an instrument of their punishment, or that Moses might learn all the wisdom of the Egyptians in order to expose all that was hollow and wicked in it. That's no 3334 to sign 8. Let's go to sign 9. Wakalatul imra'atul. Wakalatul imra'atul fri'ana. Kuratu. Aini. Wakalatul imra'atul fri'ana. Kuratu kuratu ainin li walaka. Kuratun ainin li walaka. The wife of Pharaoh said, and then in brackets and double inverted commas, here is a joy of the eye of me and thee. So Moses now is the joy of the wife of Pharaoh and Moses. And she was called Asia, if I'm not mistaken, Asia. So it says, this is a joy of me, my eyes and your eyes. That's Pharaoh's eyes. Without knowing he was going to grow up to be their enemy. So Kuratan Aini Li Walaka. La Taktuluhu. La Taktuluhu. Don't slay him or don't kill him. Let me see. La Taktuluhu. Slay him not. La Taktuluhu. Slay him not. Asa an yamfa'ana. He may be beneficial to us. Afa an yamfa'ana. أو نتخذه ولدا أو نتخذه walada. Mm. It may be that he will be of use to us, or we may adopt him as a son. Adopt him as a son. أو نتخذه ولدا, we will adopt him as a son. Mm. وهم لا يشعرون. وهم لا يشعرون. They perceive not, and they perceive not, mm, what they were doing in brackets, and they perceive not. In the Arabic side, what they were doing is not there. The commentator here is explaining it for us, and they perceive not what they were doing. 333, no, there are two notes, 3335 and 3366. Three fives is against joy of the eye. 3335. Uh, he was a darling to look at. He was a darling to look at. Uh, and Pharaoh had apparently no son, but only a daughter, who afterwards shared his throne. Full stop. This is an This is an sorry. This is on the opposition that Pharaoh was Thutmose. This was the supposition. This was the supposition that Pharaoh was Thutmose. Elsewhere it says Thutmose the second. I don't know. Yeah, it's just Thutmose. Mm. Now let's go to 366. Uh, oh my God. Please, my knees are down for you. 3336. Uh, which is against, they perceive not what they were doing. 3336. In all life, providence so orders things that evil is defeated by its own weapons. Not only is it defeated, but it actually, though unwittingly, advance the cause of the good. And that's no 3336 to sign, the second sign to sign 9. Let's go to sign 10. Uh, وأصبح وأصبح فؤاد أم موسى. وأصبح فؤاد أم موسى فارغا فارغا. وأصبح فرود أم موسى فارغا. And the heart, Frudi, of the mother of Moses, Frudi, Musa, became void. Farigan became void. Farigan. In a car sorry, in car that le tup di bihi, in car that le tup di bihi. She was going almost to disclose his case is in bracket, to disclose his case is in brackets. Uh, Le tubdi bihi, to disclose lo la and lo la and rabat na ala kulbiha litakuna min al mu'minin. Uh, he was going almost to disclose his case in brackets, had we not, hmm, lo had we not strengthened her heart. Mm. Lola and Rabatna, had we not strengthened his heart, uh, her heart, Kulubihim, strengthened her heart. Kulubiha, pardon me, Kulubiha is a woman. Strengthened her heart. Uh, Liyakuna, Liyakuna min al mominin. Had we not strengthened her heart, into brackets again with faith, her heart with faith in brackets, so that she might remain a firm believer. The word firm is in brackets, but it reads so that she will remain a believer. The note rate is 3337. 3337. The mother's heart felt the gaping void. The mother's heart felt the gaping void at parting from her son, semicolon. But her faith in God's providence kept her from betraying herself. She lost hope on the way that she wouldn't get Moses back. And that was note 3337 to sign 10. Let's go to the next sign, which is sign 11. Uh, Wakalat لأخيه sorry لأخته وكالت لأخته uh, كسيه كسيه and she said to the sister كالت لأخته she said to the sister into brackets of Moses. He said to the sister of لأخته to the sister of Moses. I don't know if this is Miriam. He said to the sister of Moses. Moses is in brackets. Uh, uh, Kusihi, trace him. And trace him is in double inverted commas. So Moses' mother told her daughter, that's Moses' sister, trace him. You see how women feel for their children. Trace him. Kusihi, فبصرت به and Junibin. فبصرت به and Junibin. Trace him. So she, into brackets, the sister, watched him from a distance. For Basrat Bihi and Junibin, and watched him from a distance. Wahum la yashurun, and they perceived it not. So you can imagine it was a crowd of people there watching, and the the signs were given such that nobody noticed it. That is when Moses' mother told Moses' sister to trace the boy and be watching him. Nobody noticed him. La yesh uru. They perceived it. They perceived it not. Mm. There's no notary. So let's go straight to 12. To sign 12. وحرمنا عليه المرادع من قبله. And we ordained that he refused sack at first. Haramna, we refused alayhi. Amardia refused sack. Amardia min kable. At first. Uh, min kable. Fakalat hal ad fakalat hal adullukum ala ahli beitin hal adullukum ala ahli beitin. I think this Moses start talking now. Uh, and, and we ordained that he refused sack at first until his sister, yes, until his sister came up and said, and in brackets we have his sister came up and, it's in brackets, Kalat is said, Hal adullukum, shall I point out to you the people of a house that will nourish and bring him up for you. Hal adullukum ala alim bait, people of the house, yakfuluhu, mm, yakfuluhu, yakfulunahu lakum. That will uh, that will nourish him and bring him up for you. Yakfulunahu lakum, nourish him and bring him up for you. A question. Wahum lahu nasihun, wahum lahu nasihun. And take care of him, and take care of him, wahum lahu nasihun. So now the sister is being wise. Mm. She pretends that she doesn't know Moses. And say, well, I'll show you to the people of house who can nourish him, bring him up and nourish him. And for you, the Egyptians, for Pharaoh's wife and the Egyptian, pretending that she doesn't know Moses. Mm. Uh, 3338. Mm. For you, in italics, then comma, i.e., on your behalf. Mm. Full stop. Thus, Moses got the benefit of his mother's milk as well as the prestige and opportunities of being brought up in the royal family with the best of teachers to teach him Egyptian wisdom. eh, Full stop. In addition, there was the comfort to his mother. In addition, there was the comfort, yes, to his mother. Mm. So Moses got the love from two sides, his mother and sister, proper, and then his mother, Pharaoh's wife, and the Pharaoh himself, Pharaoh himself. So he got love from two sides. Mm. How wonderful God is. Mm. Was the comfort of his sister. There was the comfort. In addition, there was the comfort of his sister. Yes, and that's no 3338 to sign 12. Let's go now to the next sign, which is 13. Mm. Uh, faradatnahu ila umihi. And did we, so that's did we restore him to his mother. Faradatnahu ila umihi. Kay, kay takarra Kai takarra ainaha, kai takarra ainaha. Return him to the mother, that her eye might be comforted. Ainaha, takarra, comforted. Her eye, ainaha, mm, might be comforted. Wala tazana, wala tazana, might be comforted. That she might not grieve. Wala tazana. Mm. Wali talamu, wali talama, and wali talama, and Talama, uh, and that she might know, and that she might know, Talama, Anna wa'adullahi hakan, that she might know that the promise of God is true. Inna wa'adullahi hakan, the promise of God is true. Mm. ولكن أكثرهم لا يعلمون ولكن أكثرهم لا يعلمون. Most of them do not know. Walakinna. But most of them do not know. The note to reach is 3339. God's promise is always true. But short sighted people, if they are a little thwarted in their plan, do not understand that God's wisdom, power, and goodness are far more comprehensive than any little plans which they may form. Indeed, you can form the best of your plans. Ultimately, it's God's plan that will work and not yours. Mm. Because your plan may be faulty. Mm. And that is note 3339 to sign 13, the last sign of section 1. I forgot to mention that, of course, section 1 is not even put there in the note because it's not necessary. Mm. So we've ended section 1 of sign of chapter 28 of the Holy Quran, with sign 13. We shall break here, and when we come back in our next episode, God willing, we shall go to section 2, which begins with sign 4th. Thank you very much. Bye bye. May God be with you all.